Call of Duty has come a long way since the original title all the way back in 2003. And despite its ups and downs, the franchise has been at the forefront of multiplayer first-person shooters for over a decade.
Yep. Knocked, killed, dead.
Nice. Cracked him.
Down.
Nice.
Across it.
Another guy dropped just to the left.
Down.
Nice. I'll own this because it's
Oh, on
You just dropped him. Drop shot.
We're the Bullet Sponges, and we are back with another Play or Pass, where we jump in and give you our thoughts on whether we think the game's worth playing, or if it's not really worth your time. And if you feel like joining myself and Nex for more co-op reviews and Let's Plays, feel free to subscribe and join us each week as we review and play through all sorts of different titles. If you hadn't guessed from the intro, today we're heading into the Call of Duty Battle Royale Warzone. Call of Duty Warzone is a free-to-play Battle Royale title that was originally released in March 2020 as an add-on to the main Modern Warfare release. Since then, there have been a number of changes which expands the game's scope and changes the gameplay. And as of the time of recording this, there are 3 main game modes. In Plunder, teams fight to rack up as much cash as possible. Resurgence changes the respawn mechanic and shrinks the map to make the game faster pace. And thirdly, we have the traditional Battle Royale game mode. As well as the development in game types, more guns and equipment were added to the game on release of Call of Duty Cold War. This allows players to use weapons both from Cold War and Modern Warfare, each one identified in the loadout screen. We both played a fair bit of Call of Duty when it was released in 2020, and we've recently jumped back in to find out in 2021 if the game is a play or a pass.
Call of Duty has been one of the titans of the online multiplayer FPS genre for as long as I can remember. And as the experience moved into the realms of a new game type, the Battle Royale, how well have they transitioned their IP to compete in the market? Now of course Warzone has been out for a good while, but there are always going to be new players who want to know how it compares and if it's worth the switch from the likes of Apex, Fortnite and PUBG. It's certainly one of the more gritty and realistic looking titles in comparison to say Apex, opting for a slightly more dampened colour palette than the aforementioned more bright, high contrast visuals. But they make good use of more vivid colours when it comes to the UI. Pinging a location is displayed in the colour assigned to each team member. I think he's here. Guns and their rarities are also clearly coloured, and it just makes all the important aspects of the game stand out enough to manage easily, whilst you focus on just taking names. The maps are pretty huge and hold up to 150 players, enough to have crazy multi-team battles, as well as spending a decent amount of time looting and taking the game really slow, depending on where on the map you drop. Players parachute onto the map with their team in order to establish a foothold and take out teams around them, with the map surrounded by toxic gas that closes in at regular intervals. Players will want to carefully fight their way to the middle to be the last team standing. Audio cues play a big role in navigating the battlefield. Being able to hear the direction and distance of gunshots, as well as footsteps nearby or even floors above, is a particularly key skill in Warzone due to how fast you can be killed. Even with the additional armor plate feature allowing you to top up your effective health with the looted consumable. This interestingly has taken a game that seems to be built for run and gun to a more tactical type of play, where taking it slow and getting the drop on unsuspecting enemies pays off particularly well. Not to say that you still don't get that typical Call of Duty fast-paced playstyle of course, but it's added a layer to COD that you don't necessarily see in their multiplayer modes. The game design is really team-friendly, giving players a second chance to join the game once killed, sending them to the gulag where they must win a 1v1 for the privilege. And once killed again, you have the possibility of yet another chance, if your teammate is resourceful enough to buy you back at one of the many buy stations on the map, with money you collect throughout the game. These buy stations can often have a number of eyes on them in highly contested areas, as they also provide the opportunity to buy kill streaks like the UAV and airstrike, and equipment like self-revive kits or even a loadout drop, which lets you equip a fully customized preset loadout rather than having to rely on what you find. The weapons you do find come in a series of rarities which only define the number of attachments you find on them, making them more suitable to use, but not necessarily stronger or more powerful. A good decision to keep things more balanced across the full duration of the game. Whilst fighting for survival, you'll find a number of different contracts that you can choose to take for that high risk, high reward playstyle. These could have you hunting down a specific enemy player, putting a bounty on yourself, can't say we've ever taken that one, and capturing a set area to reveal where the outer gas cloud will close into next. Getting around for all these activities is made all the easier with the number of vehicle types. Not something we like to use much. I wonder if this is because Bias uses vehicles in games to mess with me.
What happened then, Wait? Stop lying around. We've got a game to play.
But an integral feature of Warzone nonetheless. We have things like quad bikes, SUVs and helicopters that will allow you to travel at speed. However, this will also give your exact location away to enemy teams in the process. Interestingly, with Warzone, you also get a number of other game modes branching off. And although they don't maintain much longevity during our sessions, we've had a good amount of fun on each of them. Plunder is a race to $1 million where you and your team collect money from supply boxes, contracts and kills. Each player gets to pick their loadout and has unlimited respawns. Resurgence is a much appreciated take on the Battle Royale, with teams vying to be the last one standing as the gas cloud keeps closing in. The difference here is once you die, after a short countdown you respawn as long as you have one teammate still alive, making it imperative to kill the whole squad together if you wish to wipe them. The maps and team sizes these game modes can be played with change between updates, keeping the experience fresh, and might just be enough to keep you playing over time. And if that's what you intend to do, then you might want to take a look at the Battle Pass. With 100 tiers of juicy unlocks, a number of them unlockable for free even if you don't decide to purchase it. However, if you do, outside of the skins and XP tokens, you'll actually earn all of the COD points you spent on the Battle Pass back, and then some, which to some will be a blessing, only needing to buy that first Battle Pass as long as they can slog through the following seasons. And for others, a cheeky bit of business psychology to keep you playing way beyond you actually want to. Your weapon options for loadouts in Warzone span across both the Modern Warfare and Cold War arsenal, with a huge amount of customization for each one in terms of attachments and skins. The operators you play as add an additional level of customization too, mainly purchased through the store but unlocked on the Battle Pass and completing some missions and challenges. On top of all this, PC and console players get to unite and play together in unity with crossplay, which can only be seen as a positive. For PC players,
Call of Duty Warzone is still top tier when it comes to Battle Royale titles. And depending on how you like to play, it could well be the best option for you to jump in solo or with a few friends. Graphically, it holds up to any other BR game on the market. It's more realistic than games like Spellbreak or Apex Legends, and the graphics are above and beyond what you'll find in older BRs like PUBG. As for the gameplay itself, its gunplay feels fantastic, movement is smooth, and the feel and audio of hitting your shots and downing enemy players is very satisfying. The format of the BR with 150 players, the gulag to give you a chance to spawn back in, and the implementation of buy stations all provides players with enough complexity to keep it fun and engaging. And if we take a moment to look at the content actually in the game, it has some of the widest selection of guns in the entire BR franchise. From snipers, shotguns, assault rifles, RPGs, to riot shields and fighting sticks. And this range of equipment means that you can play whatever playstyle you choose, and still not be wanting for weapons to match that. Overall, we gave Call of Duty Warzone a 4.5 out of 5. And for us, this is on par with Apex Legends, which is probably our favourite BR. And really the only thing splitting the two is how you like to play. Where Apex is a little faster paced and more cartoony, and Warzone is a little slower, games take longer, and the gunplay and movement is a bit more realistic. Let us know in the comments what you think of the game or whether or not you agree with our review. We're the Bullet Sponges, and we'll see you in the next one.